Hi, my name is Victor Wandera Orembe, the ICT and Broadcasting Coordinator at Western Nyota Television, and today I'm going to take you through this software called Microsoft Project, basically used for managing work plans and projects. So I'll take you through the different phases of these projects, being the understanding the interface. I'll also show you how to write the projects list. I will also show you how to do the indentations, scheduling, setting predecessors, the Gantt chart, explaining the Gantt chart, and how to view your reports. Therefore, let's just dive into it. The first thing that you like to understand is the interface of this software. The first thing that you want to understand is the interface of this software, Microsoft Project, and at the very top here we have the project name, project 1, project professional product. As you can see, then on the top right we have the login details, or rather the sign-in details. It shows you who has signed in. Then on the top left we have a toolbar that you can save, undo, redo, and this button that also allows you to customize your quick access toolbar. Then down here we have the project ribbon, which has file, basically for managing a file, so you can save, open new project, and all those other details. Then we have task. Basically the task tab contains different tools that will be used to manage your project. Then we have the resource tab. Resource tab is used to manage resources in your project. Let's say human resource and any other resource that you'd like to fill in this project. We have the reports tab. Basically the reports tab is used to view interactive, visual, and custom reports that you want to see, or rather to view in your projects. Remember that you can always view a set of reports as displayed here, but you can also create your own using blank chart, table, or comparison reports. Then on project we have different tabs. We have different functions that you're going to use to manage your project, especially the project information over here. We are going to use it more often during this tutorial, therefore just keep in mind. Then view, it gives us different views of the representation of this application. You can decide to view the Gantt chart or the tracking chart, or set to default. Any other view that you'd want, you can always get it under view tab. Help, basically this for showing giving you a tutorial on how to use this application and also to give feedback to Microsoft. Then we have format. Basically format is used to making your project look more appealing and more understandable. Down here we have timeline. The timeline is a high level reporting tool, and if you are managing a project, it can function as a quick glance view to see where your project is. You'll see how it will be changing as we progress in filling out this project. Then down here we have a split screen. You can see this is the first screen, and this other one is the second screen. The first screen over here is called the entry table, where we fill in the details of our project. That is the task mode, the task name, duration, start, finish, predecessors, and any other column that you'll add. Then on this other side it's the Gantt chart. When populated, it will be a visual representation of the project durations and other things like the resource and the names of the resource people. On this other side we have the view indicator. You can always change the view by right clicking and changing the view of your choice. At the bottom left we have the status bar. It's over here. That's the status bar, and basically for this case it's written ready. It just shows you that your project is ready and you can start now populating your project details. Then on the bottom right you have a series of view buttons over here. Basically they are shortcuts for the view ribbon. Remember that the view ribbon is here. And when you are working, you can easily access the view ribbons over here. By default, the first one is the Gantt chart, in which is the default view. Then the second one is the task usage. You can always switch between these series of views to test the look of your project. And for this case, let's just check on the task. This is called the task usage. This is called the team planner. We have project count. We are not working with a team. Then this is called the resource sheet, but for the default we are going to use the Gantt chart view, which is the zone that we are using. Now we've understood the whole interface of Microsoft Project, and the next step is to start doing the entries for our project. Now, for you to do the data entries on the entry table over here, the first thing we want to do is that we want to set this start date of this project. Therefore, we're going to click on project over here, then click on project information, then just set the start date that we want these projects to begin on. So let's just set it to begin on that Monday of 5th February 2024. Then click on OK. Then we now have our entry table over here. In the first column, we have the informational tab over here. Then we have the task mode that will either be automatic or manually scheduled. Then we have the task name, duration, start, finish, and predecessors. For now, let's just focus on the start name. Before you start the data entries, remember to set all your entries to be on automatic. So we are going to click on the status bar over here. Then new tasks, manually scheduled. They are now on manual, so just click on it and update it to automatic scheduling. For this case, let's start with broadcasting. You may have your own different tasks to fill. That's one. Let's say I also have content production. I have content editing. I have let me say after content production, I have a show that I host. Let me call it Mirende Mumbo, then Filanga Free, then content editing. I also have the two shows. I have Mirende Mumbo and Filanga Free, as well as client project. For this case, let's have this. Then you can see that the new tasks that I'm creating are on automatic schedules. For you to tell that they are on automatic scheduling, you can click on this drop down. Then you can choose between manual or auto scheduled. Now on the very left side of this entry table, we have these numbers. Please note these numbers, they are the project numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8 now, and they symbolize the project numbers that will be used to in populating the predecessors. That's how we do the project entry. And now the next thing we want to do is creating indentations. Now at times you realize that there are those projects that come as an umbrella of other programs. For this case, broadcasting is an umbrella that has content production as well as content editing. That's why we need to indent any project that will be under broadcasting. And for you to do that, just hover the mouse to the project that you like to indent until it changes to a double arrowed. Then hold down your mouse key and drag it to the right. That way, as you can see, it has been indented. Then Mirembe Mombo and Filanga Free will also come under content production. Therefore, you can just indent them in this manner. Then remember that content production will come on the same level as content editing. Therefore, indent content editing to the level 2 of that broadcasting. Then Mirembe Bombo will come under content editing, filanga free also under content editing, and client projects under content editing. Now we've just done data entry for our tasks, whereby I have this project called broadcasting, and under broadcasting I have content production and content editing. Under content production I have Mirembe Mumbo and filanga free. This shows that I participate in the production. Then under editing we have filanga free, Mirembe Mumbo, filanga free, and client projects. Now this takes us to the next thing that you would like to do, and that's setting the durations. Now a week has got 5 days, and we would like to set these tasks to be done in a duration of 5 days. Therefore we're going to set the duration for this project called broadcasting to be 5 days. Therefore just click on the duration and set it to 5. And remember, the default duration in Microsoft project is days. Therefore if you just write 5, it will automatically update it to days. However, you can specify by writing 5D for days, D for days, or MO for months, WKS for weeks, and H for hours. So you want this to be 5 days, and for content production we're going to use 2 days, and for content editing we are going to use 3 days. Okay, as you can see, the Gantt chart is automatically adjusting to represent the projects that we are now setting durations for. Then I would like to do content production for 1 day, for Mirembe Mumbo on 1 day, then also for for filanga free 1 day. I will edit Mirembe Mumbo for 1 day, filanga free for 1 day, and client's work for 1 day. Okay, we have it here. That's how we do the shade. That's how we assign durations for these projects. Now the next thing we would like to do is now to set predecessors. Basically, predecessor states that which task should be the first one and which should follow which task. And for you to be able to do that, pay attention to the task. Pay attention to the task numbers on the left hand side here. They are going to be very key in filling in predecessors. Now task 1 is called broadcasting, and task 2 is called content production. We can set this in a manner that you cannot do content editing before you've done content production. You start by producing the content, then edit it later. Therefore we set the predecessor of content editing to be content production by just typing in the task number for content production as 2. Okay, now you can see the Gantt chart has already adjusted to visually represent that. This means that we are going to do content production before we can do content editing. If you are supposed to do Mirembe Mumbo show before we start doing filanga free show, we can always set that the predecessor of filanga free to be task number 3, which shows that we must finish Mirembe Mumbo show for us to be able to do filanga free. The same thing can happen that I'm supposed to edit in this order: Mirembe Mumbo, then filanga free, then client projects. For this case, we are going to give a predecessor to filanga free as 6, and predecessor for client work as 7. As you can see now, the Gantt chart has already indicated that we are supposed to do these projects if you hover your mouse over these representations, they give you an on-screen snippet of the projects. For this case, let me just show you. If you hover it in that manner, it should be able to tell you, okay, that's a manual summary. It tells you that that task is content editing, and it starts on Monday 5th of February 2024, and it finishes on Wednesday 7th of February 2024, and the duration is 3 days. Therefore you can always monitor how your projects are performing. We've now been able to understand how we can do the project entries, we can do indentations, we can schedule either manually or automatically, and we've just learned how to do predecessors. The next thing that we like to do is setting resource names. For you to assign a resource name, you need to have a set of resources that you've already created in your system, or you can do it manually over here by just dragging your entry table on this side to export the resource names column over here. Then you can go on and type in a resource name. Let's say that the person who is responsible for broadcasting, let's say, is Victor Wandera. Okay, that is it. We've just assigned a resource name called Victor Wandera to this task called broadcasting. However, if you want to have a set of if you like to have a set of your resource people or resource names, just click on the resource tab over here. Then you can always add resources using this button. For this case, let's assign different responsibilities to different people. Let's say content production, we want to assign it to a resource called let's say Mike. Then content editing, would like to assign it to a resource called Alexia. Okay, this means that we just assigned this task called broadcasting to Victor. We've assigned content production to Mike. We have assigned content editing to Alexia. After you filled those details, the next thing you want to do is to fill in the percentages of completion on this project. Let's say that under broadcasting, the way we have content production and content editing, we would like to understand the percentages of completion in this project. Remember that before we begin, it's always 0%. When we complete it, it becomes 100%. For this case, if you want to update those details, double click on a task and it opens up this screen. You have general, predecessor, you have resources, you have advanced, you have notes and custom fields. For this case, under general is where we want to update the details of percentages of complete. If we've finished the project halfway, we can just update this to 50%, then click OK. We've just said that broadcasting has been completed 50%, and in those 50%, let's say content production has been completed 25%, and also content editing has been completed 25% to make it the 50%. Then now you can narrow down and fill in out of those 25% for content production. Remember is complete by, let's say, 12.5%, and Filanga Free is also complete by 12.5%. Okay, we can now view we can now see the representation on our Gantt chart. If you can see the dark blue the dark blue representation inside this blue shade, is a line that shows you the progress. You can also view that using the reports, and I'm going to show you how you can view this from the reports. On the tabs over here, just click on report. Then we have a range of reports. We have compare projects, we have new report, we have dashboards, we have resources, we have costs, we have in progress, getting started, custom, and recent. If you want to view different projects like the tasks that are in progress, just click on this downward arrow. Then you can view critical tasks. You have them over here. A task is critical if there is no room in the schedule for it to slip. This means that if these projects slip, then they're going to make other projects also to fail in their deliveries, and these are the projects. Okay, You can check on other projects. Let's check on late tasks. Let's click on that. You can see that the tasks are late as compared to the status date. A task is late if its finish date has passed or it's not progressing as planned. So you can see that Mirembe Mumbo content production Filanga Free have not yet been done as it was planned. That's why they are under late tasks. If you click on these other reports, let's see milestone report. Basically it shows the progress. These are milestone reports. Other reports, sleeping tasks. These are reports on sleeping tasks. Okay, these are the set of reports, and you can view a lot more reports from these menus over here. You can view the dashboards, the burn down report. This is the burn down report. By clicking on the report, you can change the cost report. Basically this will show you how funds are being used to manage your reports. For you to go back to the view that you're using, just click on the Gantt chart view. Thank you for following this tutorial. I believe that you now have an understanding of how Microsoft Project works, and you are now able to understand the interface, how to do the data entries for the project, or rather the tasks. You can do the indentations, you can do the scheduling, you can assign durations and all these other functions. And besides that, you can also produce the reports. And I believe that this has been very useful. My name is Victor Wandera Orembe, the ICT and Broadcasting Coordinator at Western Yota Television, and I hope to see you in our next tutorial.